Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It is 10:06 a.m. Mountain Time on Monday, November 8th, and my apologies. I have been out an entire week. I got knocked on my ass by whatever's going around. I had a sinus infection, a throat thing. I thought for sure I had COVID. I did not have COVID, but I was literally on the couch since Tuesday through yesterday, so still not feeling 100%, but I did want to get a video in today, and it is going to be crazy because so much has happened since my last video 1 week ago today, and I'm going to try and get a lot in. I'm not going to get everything in. I'm going to miss some things, but we do got to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin just pumped like 8% instantly yesterday. Got to talk about Elon Musk and selling his Tesla through a Twitter poll. Got to talk about what's going on right now. The Solana conference is going on right now. Polkadot parachain launches November 11th, which is in 3 days. We got Metaverse, which is exploding hype right now. We got to talk about where I'm at with that and gaming, and then got to talk a little bit about DeFi. Just have to, because I love DeFi, and I think DeFi is the future, even though it's going to get regulated, which it should. We've seen a lot of scams, but lot to talk about. Also going to talk to you about a little bit about one Solana project that I dumped and why. I didn't have a whole lot of it, but it was one that I was really big on, and I was going through some things and found out, like, wow, I really don't want to be in this, and I'm going to let you know why. So if you like all that and you like this video, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Also, please subscribe to my channel. The 320 subscribers, I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to my channel. It lets me know that I'm putting out content that is useful to people and is helpful to people. Goal is 1,000. Goal is 1,000 subscribers, then I want to go from there. So please, if there's something you want to see that I'm not covering, leave a comment. Feel free. I pay attention to that, and really want to put out content that people are interested in because the whole crypto world has just grown substantially. When I got back into it summer of 2020, I was like, wow, I can't believe I haven't been paying attention to this. Look at DeFi, just DeFi alone. DeFi didn't exist in the not the first one, like the third one, the run in 2017. It was basically everybody competing for cryptocurrencies, like to be better than Bitcoin and to be the next Bitcoin or to be a substitute for Bitcoin. And now it's just blown up. So please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. I would appreciate it greatly if you haven't already. Now, if you do really like my videos and you do want to know when it comes out, hit the alert button. It'll alert you when a video comes out. So I mean, everything's time sensitive in the crypto world, so hopefully that becomes helpful to you. But I do appreciate it greatly, and want to go over these things. I'm definitely missing some things. I know that because it's been a week, and a lot happens in a week in the life of crypto. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Also remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video is to be considered financial advice. Everything in this video is for information and educational purposes only. I am just a trader, but I do have my opinions, and I do want to share those with you. So let's get into it. Okay, getting into it, I want to go over some news articles, and I'm not going to hit everything like I said, but first of all, the big news was the Metaverse. Facebook rebranding completely to Meta. Their new name is Meta. People are kind of laughing at this, I feel like, in some areas, but I feel that Metaverse is the biggest thing to come out of crypto. I think you're going to see employee-less businesses, more and more of that. I'm not going to get super into it, but I just know that this is big. Look into it. Go to Cointelegraph and search Metaverse and look at all this comes up. And the latest one, 5 reasons why blockchain-based gaming economies are the future. If you don't know much about Metaverse, I'll get into it a little bit later. Just wanted to hit this with the news section, just Facebook rebranding. I think this is a really big deal. I don't think Facebook is the way to go. If you're invested in stocks, I think Facebook is a good way to go, just because I think the Metaverse will be beneficial to their stock price over time. Metaverse, essentially digital worlds are going to be existent, and you are going to be able to exist in a digital world through the use of NFTs. Land is going like crazy, millions of dollars for land in Decentraland. Wearables like shoes for your character, $2,000, $3,000. It's the first adopter thing right now, and Decentraland is the first adopter. Facebook, the only reason I don't like Facebook is because crypto is supposed to be decentralized. Facebook will mostly be centralized. So just definitely want to look into that. I'm going to touch on it a little bit more in this video. Next, moving on, Crypto.com supports Kronos, Crossbridge mainnet beta launch. months ago, I mentioned Chronos and how I like this and how I like bridges. Bridges, I think, are going to be big because now we have these multiple ecosystems. It's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and with Ethereum being the main ecosystem, you've hopefully all used Uniswap or maybe 1inch or SushiSwap to use and be a part of the Ethereum ecosystem, but everything's building off of Ethereum, and now you have things like Solana, you have Polkadot, which isn't the layer 1. Don't want to upset anybody. I know, those Polkadot followers, I'll call them, go crazy if you call Polkadot or Kusama a layer 1. It's not a layer 1. You have Avalanche, you have Cosmos, you have you have Polygon. I'm not going to name all of them, but you have all these different ecosystems now, and bridges are going to be a big part of that. You heard me mention in the Solana ecosystem Saber. Saber, that's right. That's, a bridge, and I think the bridges are going to be the main part, maybe behind the decentralized exchanges, the DEXs, like Radium is the one for Solana, and Polkadex for Polkadot, and Uniswap is the main one for Ethereum, and QuickSwap is the main DEX for Polygon. But bridges, Crypto.com mentioned it in the last video. Becoming very big, actually. It was the #1 downloaded app on the App Store, Google App Store. I think it was Google App Store. I could be wrong, and it was pretty close on Apple's. But anyways, moving on. Incoming New York mayor wants crypto taught in schools. We must open our schools to teach technology, to teach this new way of thinking. People have been coming to me just wanting to know about crypto, and I instantly send them to my YouTube page. I say, listen, I've spent hours trying to understand things and trying to get into things. You're not going to learn it overnight. Start small, start with Bitcoin, start with Ethereum, and go from there, and then go down the rabbit hole. It is the future, and it is happening right now. If you understand the way that I view things, especially with decentralized finance, the thing that I've mentioned before that blows my mind is auditing through blockchain. If we adopt blockchain, auditing will be done in an instant. And there will be no need for trust. There will be no need for a third party. There will be no need from a bank or a centralized organization or anything. You trust the blockchain because you can't break the rules on the blockchain. If you break the rules on the blockchain, you lose money. That's all there is to it. And not only do you lose money, but it takes a lot of time and effort to break the rules on any blockchain technology. The one downfall right now, the one I guess hurdle is, especially in DeFi, is the hacks. Is you get new programmers, new developers, and they don't cover all their grounds for being open to hacks. And I think the more that DeFi has been hacked, the better it's been for the technology, because it's a learning experience. Even with, Rune, Thorchain, RUNE, they got hacked, and the hacker was like, this is just a small amount. This is just a warning that this kind of susceptibility is existent on your blockchain, and it was kind of funny because he just did it as kind of like a lesson, like, hey, slap on the wrist, like, fix this. Anyways, moving on. It's happening. The adoption of crypto has been happening. It's happening, and by the time that the majority gets on board, it's going to be too late. Hong Kong regulator reevaluates retail crypto ETF laws. The Securities and Futures Commission of Hong Kong has received many requests to approve crypto ETFs for trading. Just more and more adoption, more and more getting into the mainstream. And the mainstream is mostly in the stock exchanges, just because it's easier. You have your TD Ameritrade account or whatever you're using, whatever broker you're using, and you just get on there and you buy the ETF instead of the actual Bitcoin or something like that. More and different types of virtual asset investment products are available, and conventional exchanges overseas now offer cryptocurrency ETFs. Since the SFC established these regulations 3 years ago, digital assets have grown massively in popularity, with Bitcoin rising sixfold to 62,238 this week. We now see that it's about 66,000, just below that right now. The rally was spurred by big investors and funds rushing into cryptocurrencies on the belief that they will soon be used in payments, while retail investors join the party for quick profits. So everybody's slowly wanting to become a part of this. Moving on, blockchain metaverse startups, unparalleled investment. unparalleled investment potential. Again, Metaverse is the big thing that you want to be paying attention to right now. Right, that's big. Neil Stephenson, a popular sci-fi writer, coined the phrase Metaverse in his first best-selling breakthrough 1992 novel, Snow Crash. Now that concept is becoming a reality, and what's more, you can invest in the Metaverse in Ready Player One. Now, I wanted to mention this article because if you don't understand the Metaverse and what this world is moving towards, go watch the movie Ready Player One or read the book, whichever you prefer. Books are always better than the movies, but if you're not a reader, go watch the movie Ready Player One. It's actually a really good movie, so it's not just going to be a movie that you watch just to learn something, but that's essentially what this Metaverse is moving towards. And you're going to fully understand it, and it's going to be through the use of NFTs. The Oasis, which is the virtual metaverse in the movie, is another example of an advanced virtual reality. Numerous other sci-fi authors, such as Ian M. Banks, have created and used similar concepts within their novels. Go watch Ready Player One. Highly suggest it. If you're going to understand the metaverse, that's going to help you understand it best. Okay, so moving on. Bitcoin. Sunday, new candle. Bitcoin futures opened up. Boom. Bitcoin shot up like $3,000, instantly. And this is another thing that we got to pay attention to. Lord Edge. I don't know what that means. Elon Musk is a character. Love him, hate him. It is a love-hate relationship with everyone. He can manipulate markets like nobody else. He's been really big on this unrealized capital gains tax that Janet Yellen has been talking about, which is essentially ridiculous. I don't think it could ever happen. If it does, I'll probably move out of the United States, just because, let's say the average person has $5,000 in their checking account. I don't feel like the average person does. And you own a house that you live in. Now, you've owned this house for 5 years. Let's say you've built some equity. If you're in Utah, things have gone up like 50 to 100% in the last 4 or 5 years in when it comes to real estate. So let's say you're one of those people and you bought a $300,000 home that is now worth $400,000. You have an unrealized capital gain of $100,000. They are going to tax you on that. Now, long-term capital gains federal is 15%, and I think local here in Utah is like 5%. When you sell something and you make $100,000, you owe 20% to the government. Awesome, right? Yeah, like they don't print enough money to cover their basis that they got to dip into your pockets as well. Now, there are rules that if you reinvest that 90 days, I think it is, maybe it's 120, you roll it over into a new real estate investment property, you don't have to pay the tax on the capital gains. It rolls into, I think it's actually called rollover or something like that. Anyways, now, let's say 20%, you owe $20,000 on unrealized capital gain. You didn't sell your house. It's just worth $100,000 more. So now you owe $20,000 that you don't have. So what, you have to take out a home equity line of credit. Now you're in debt to pay your unrealized capital gains. You have to sell your house. What do you do? I don't know. How does it make sense? How is that fair? I don't know. Anyways, so that's what's going on. So Lord Edge, I just realized that now that he renamed his Twitter handle. Much is made lately of unrealized gains being a means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. Do you support this? Yes, 57.9%. I just voted yes because I figured everybody would be voting no, because who wants to be in Tesla stock and have him sell 10% of his stock and it goes down? He said, I will abide by the results of this poll, whichever way it goes. No, I do not take cash salary bonus from anywhere. I only have stock. Thus, the only way for me to pay taxes is to sell stock. Much like I talked about with the house. Anyways, a lot of speculation on, okay, he's going to sell 10% of his stock. That's a lot of money. I forget exactly how much that he owns, but 10% is in the billions for him. Is he going to crash the stock? First of all, let's look at it. What's it doing? Let's go to Tesla. What's it doing? Let's see what Tesla is doing. It's down 2.8%, so not a huge amount. Gap down. So speculation is that he'll either crash the stock a little bit and then buy it up at pennies on the dollars, or he'll buy Bitcoin with that. So two things to look into: Bitcoin and Tesla stock. Bitcoin, let's see, right around 66,000. We mentioned this bull flag and that it would be flat. Presumably, nothing's ever 100% because the options expirations on Ledger X last Friday remained flat. Look at that, pretty flat. And then as soon as Sunday hit, boom, took off. So weekend was good after options expirations. Options expirations this Friday are new as of last week, so they haven't existed for a very long time, where last Fridays have existed for a while. So for me, having traded options for 4 years, you go into Friday and the traders, the big money traders and the algorithms, they try and depreciate the premium on options contracts, and it basically screws everybody except for contract sellers if you're selling contracts. So my rule as an options trader was never trade options on Fridays. And if you're up on a Friday morning or if you're up on a Thursday late afternoon, sell it, get out of it, move on to next week. If my options were expiring that week, or even if they weren't, because I knew that they were going to most likely, it's not 100%, most likely go down in price on Fridays. So Ledger X is not that big yet. They don't have much liquidity. I do have some December 31st calls. Just because it's a chance for me to turn a little bit of money into a lot, and if I lose, it's not that big of a loss. The spreads on the bid and the ask are crazy, insane. So it's not something that I would do on a weekly, on a weekly expiration, just because if something happens, how are you going to get out of it? You're going to have to sell on the bid, because some of these spreads are 50%. And it's crazy. How do you trade that? You have to go longer term. I hope to get filled on closer to the bid, and that's kind of my. I hardly have. I have like $500 in it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just playing around with it, and I want to be staying on top of Ledger X because it is a part of the price action now, and I think it's going to become a bigger part of the price action. And if you've never traded options, when you learn about options, you realize like why price does what it does a lot more in detail. Anyways, Bitcoin breaking out. We should definitely test all-time highs here. There's no reason why we shouldn't with the strength that we're showing. Look at that volume already on today, bigger than the entire weekend. So 67,000, looking for that to hit. I'm actually looking for this week to go to around 70,000, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, and then going into Friday, pull back a little bit when there are some shorter-term options expirations happening. Anyways, moving on, Bitcoin dominance, saw a little bit of a spike. What does this show us? That it's really not breaking out compared to altcoins. And as mentioned before, what's been happening is Bitcoin goes up, and then altcoins see a run, and then Bitcoin goes up, and then altcoins see a run. So looking at altcoins, first of all, we didn't necessarily create a gap. We did create a gap based off of the last price that it closed at. So you can see that on the 4 hour. It's clear, so we do have a little gap there. But as far as like price gap, we had a high of 62,865 and a low of 62,905. Barely. That's not enough to qualify for a gap. It's not a strong magnet, in my opinion. Could it close after we reach a new all-time high if we actually happen to do that? Sure, absolutely. But for the most part, not too worried about that. I think that also we're getting into the heart of the bull run. I think these next 2 months are where you see crazy stuff happen, especially with like the supply on exchanges getting lower and lower. Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to trade thinner and thinner, so it's going to take less buying pressure to move the price up because there's less available on the ask. So I do think we start to get crazy a little bit, and with a gap, we have to have a place to come back down to when we have an exhaustion gap or we have a climax top, and things go parabolic. If that happens, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen, but I'm not saying that it is going to happen. Where's it going to come back down to? Oh, well, there's this gap here at 65,000 or 64,000 or wherever I just said that we're at. Why wouldn't we come back down to there? Some people think that Bitcoin will come back down to 10,000 if we run into a bear market. Anyways, moving on to altcoins. This is looking exactly like 2017. Let's go back, actually. Let's see what happened in 2017. That's still April 2021. We got 2020. Don't have a chart for the total two in 2017. Anyways, what happened was it started inching up like this, and then it just exploded up for like 300-400% total altcoin market cap. So just remember, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Always take profits along the way. That's my suggestion, even though I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a trader, but I have a lot of experience doing this. Total 3, looking the same way. So everything is moving up right now. Everything. Start to notice when it gets a little euphoric that we're probably going to see, like after a nice rise, we'll probably see a hard drop before another run up. So if you are trading, then take profits on the way up, and then if it does come down, that's where you start buying back in, because I don't think this bull run is anything close to finished. I think we get into January and we're starting to look like crazy. That's when I'll start to pull my money out. Ethereum putting in new all-time highs. I don't see why it would stop. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't see 5,000, where we'll probably see some psychological resistance. You could argue whether that exists or not, but if you follow Raul Paul, you know that he's been showing charts showing that Ethereum is following the same Bitcoin cycle in 2017, so he thinks it comes up just short of $20,000. I tend to agree with him on that. Mentioned before, towards the end of September, I was saying you want to get in before October. I think this is where things were looking like we're starting to move back up again. You want to have your positions, and I think that if you don't have your positions now that you want to hold for the next maybe 2 months, get in now is my suggestion, not financial advice. Anyways, Litecoin. Mentioned about a week and a half ago that I did get into a position on Litecoin. I think it's being overlooked. Litecoin is essentially Bitcoin with a higher supply. I think it's like 84 million as opposed to 21 million. Yeah, it's 4 times the amount, and a faster block time, meaning that more is mined in the same time frame. So essentially the same thing. And then Dogecoin is essentially a exact replica of Litecoin. So anyways, I think Litecoin's getting overlooked. If things are repeating like they did last cycle, which they are, I'm sorry to say they are, it's exactly the same. History is repeating itself. Litecoin's looking like $1,500 around, give or take, 1,000 to 2,000. It could be anything. If you remember, I remember because I missed out on it. I bought Litecoin at like $65 and sold it like 94. Then it was coming back down, and I was all happy after it went up into the hundreds after selling at 94, and I was coming down. I'm like, man, I did good on this. I played this right, and then it shot up to over $400. I was like, my goodness. So, anyways, Litecoin position that I mentioned, watch out for that. Started to chart this a little more. Next resistance area looking like I'm ignoring this wick because it was a huge sell-off, so it's non-existent to me. Looking at 232 area as the next resistance. So do I recommend buying this right now? No. If we break out from 232 on high volume, yes, because look at all this space that we have where not a lot of price action existed. Maybe a little bit back here, so you're always going to see some resistance, but if you look at that, I think we're off to 292, 300 if we break this area. So looking at Litecoin now, more and more and more. I have my position, and it's looking good since I entered at, I think, 194. So now, moving on from the top 3, Litecoin not being the number 3 in market cap is still like the original 3, I should say, the big 3, the original 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and now own all 3 of those. I didn't own Litecoin in previously. I traded it a little bit and owned it back in May. Anyways, moving on. What's happening right now? What's going on right now? That's the things that I'm focused on if I'm trading this, and if I have positions in this, I want to be watching like a hawk. Polkadot, parachain auctions on the 11th. That's 3 days from now. That's basically the entirety of their existence and why they exist. Very, very big. I hold Polkadot. I think you can see $100. How soon? I don't know. Fairly soon. I think that's just the guess. I think when we look at this price action, we could possibly get it to the high end of this channel, which right now is around 61, 62, and then we could break out and then sell back down. Do I see 100 happening tomorrow? No, maybe by January. I don't know. Maybe 200 by January. I have no idea. But everything looks bullish. Look at this uptrend. Bullish. Akala Network has been the hottest one since the crowd loans have started. This was, Scott McGregor sent me this, November 5th. Just 7.5 hours into the first Polkadot crowd loan, a group of nearly 20,000 individuals in the global Akala Network community have contributed over $200 million, or $3.93 million, in support of the DeFi project's launch. Now remember, let's say that Akala wins a parachain. They win a parachain auction, right? That's 3.93, and there's more than that now. I don't know the exact number. Let's just call it 4 million right now. 4 million Polkadot is locked up, and now I'm not an expert on Polkadot or crowd loans or parachains. I'm not an expert. That's not my area of expertise, but I do pay attention to it. That gets locked up, I believe, for 48 weeks. I heard 2 years recently, which made me question my 48 weeks. Maybe Kusama is 48 weeks. Maybe this is 2 years. But that 4 million DOT is locked up for that amount of time. That cannot be traded. And there is a circulating supply of just about 1 billion DOT. So the more and more, and that's just one parachain, right? That's just one parachain. So if that happens over and over, I mean, you may have 200 million Polkadot locked up for 48 weeks or possibly 2 years, since I heard so. Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free. I'm just saying, for an extended amount of time, at least 48 weeks, that Polkadot is locked up and staked. So something to think about. Supply goes down, price generally goes up. So, mentioned before, looking at the Polkadot ecosystem, the ones that I liked are Polkadex, Polkabridge, Moonriver shot up. I guess it got listed on Binance, shot up yesterday. Moonriver's probably the most talked about. Moonbeam, which is also a part of Moonriver. I believe Moonriver is actually a part of Moonbeam Foundation. Moonbeam will be up for a parachain on Polkadot. I think that has a strong chance of getting it. Now, these projects on Polkadot are not out yet. They're not tradable. Not yet, at least. Some of them maybe recently just launched. But let's see. What else? We talked about Polkadot. Polkadex, Polkabridge, Moonriver was one of them. Parsec I've heard of. Moonbridge is up 100% in the last week. Very, very good performance. Kylan I like. I don't hold any. Not into it. I try to keep it very small in this area just because it's not my area of expertise. Polkadex up 7% in the last week. Not bad. Still hanging around in that long bull flag. 21 cents. Yeah, $21. Sorry, $21. And just remember that just because it has Polka in its name doesn't mean that it is part of Polkadot paid network. I do like. Hasn't done anything in a long time. Bridge Mutual I like. It's an insurance, so if something gets rug pulled, you're insured. And yeah, lot of stuff to look into. Unido, I've looked into. Shadows came out of nowhere. Fractal. So you got all these that you can look into, and very, very big ecosystem, and a lot that don't exist. DeFi Click, definitely one that I hold. I don't know. It could go to zero. That's one of those ones I hold a little bit in. It could go to zero. It could do 10,000%. It's only a 2 million market cap. Imagine if they got a parachain, $2 million market cap. They're burning half their supply. Anyways, not going to get into that. I do like DeFi a lot. So Polkadot. Okay, I know I've covered a lot. This is a longer video. Normally I try to keep it to 20 minutes. Sometimes it ends up being 25, 30. Sometimes it ends up being 15. This definitely, as mentioned before, a lot to cover just because I was sick and I was on the couch all week, just knocked on my ass. Anyways, what else is going on? Solana conference happening right now. Solana price has been doing awesome. Sold half of mine at $125 just because I bought in at 34 or 36, and it performed so well that it's like, okay, I'm going to take out half. I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to let the rest ride because I do think the bull market is still going. New all-time highs for Solana, looking awesome. I see this continuing through the week and then probably doing like Phantom did and selling off a little bit once the conference is over. I think it runs through the 11th. But anyways, Solana doing really well. No reason that it shouldn't. It is now number 4 in market cap. when it was like top 10, I said, I'm seeing this as top 3 because it is essentially Ethereum, but better. Got to pass Binance coin. It is currently 33%. 36% away from Binance coin, but Binance coin has been doing really well, coming up on all-time highs. A lot of reasons for that I'm not going to get into, but lots of money in Binance. But anyways, where was I at? Let's keep going. So Solana doing really well, just as we knew it would, just like Phantom did, moving into the Phantom Developer Conference. Not doing as much percentage-wise, but it already had a bigger move. So one of the big ones that I see when I'm watching my podcasts, my YouTubes, is Render Token. Render Token is not part of the Solana ecosystem. Render Token is part of, correct me if I'm wrong, Cosmos, I believe. But they are speaking, and I think they already did speak, they are speaking at the Solana conference. So why would they not be part of Solana? But speaking at Solana conference is they are bridging, maybe, Cosmos in Solana. $385 million market cap, number 251. Should you buy it now? Yeah, I don't know. It's gone up quite a bit. I'd maybe wait for a pullback, and if you're going to buy in now, start small and scale in if you choose to buy it. I'm not saying buy it. I don't hold any right now. It's just one that I think people should be paying attention to. The other rumor that I've heard based off of my podcasts and YouTube videos that I watch are that possibly FTX is putting a big investment into Render Token. So possibly a part of Solana coming up, possibly an investment by FTX. I don't know. Next, first, before I talk about the position that I dumped, which I didn't have a very big position in to begin with, but I had high hopes for, and I want to correct, and I want to apologize because I missed something, and it's not something that's like generally easy to come to a conclusion about. Okay, going to the Solana ecosystem. So you can find these, we've gone through the Polkadot ecosystem. We can go and find the Solana ecosystem. I like bridges because of all the different ecosystems that are being created. So I like Saber in the Solana ecosystem. That I like Radium because I like the decentralized exchanges. If the ecosystem becomes big, the main decentralized exchanges are going to be using Solana the most. So let's just scroll through here. And I also like DeFi. So what are the DeFi protocols on the Solana ecosystem? What are the DeFi protocols that, and what are the DeFi protocols that hold the most value or the most opportunity or the most potential for growth in these ecosystems? And if I can find it, I can't believe it's this far down. Solana ecosystem, there we go. Anyway, so again, Chainlink isn't part of the Solana ecosystem, but Chainlink is just a part of everything. That's why Chainlink is so important. So let's see. You have Serum. Serum Dex is Serum. I was saying Radium, but I do like Radium as well. But they've already gone up to pretty high market caps. Look at $1 billion. Serum's $1 billion. 900 million, and then Serum's $1 billion. Band. Coin98 is one I don't know much about, but people talk about a lot. Worth looking into. Mango Markets. It's a DeFi protocol on Solana. So my favorite ones are, for the most opportunity, are Saber, and I like Step Finance. But yeah, again, can go through these right now. The Solana conference is going on, so something could be announced in any of the ones that you hold that, this big thing is happening with Step Finance. I don't know many of the rumors behind those, nor do I have reason to. I don't know how I would. Saber has come down. It was in the over 30 cents. But anyways, Aldrin, another one that's talked about. Mercurial, one that's talked about a lot. But again, going through these and researching these, you can see there's tons and tons and tons and tons on here. So, and just be careful, just because it has Sol in front of its name, SOL in front of its name, doesn't mean that it is actually Solana. So anyways, looking into it, I did dump one of my Solana ecosystems position. What is that? And that's Sunny Aggregator. Sunny Aggregator I got really excited about because when I was doing my research, I showed that it had, at the time, actually 2.5 billion total value locked. So you can see 1.5 billion, or half the total value locked, has been taken out of it. So people have cashed in and come out of Sunny Aggregator. I'm not saying Sunny Aggregator is bad. Sunny Aggregator is great. And it currently sits, let's look at what it currently sits at. Sunny Aggregator, I bought it at 0.0306, 0.026. Now, excuse me, I had a previous all-time high around 21 cents, and I'm like, my gosh, dude, this has $2.5 billion in its program. This is definitely going back up, because most of these that have that much money or less locked in are like $400, $800 million market caps, and this is under 10 million. This is a $4 million market, or I'm sorry. It does say on CoinGecko, even though I don't use CoinGecko as much anymore because they have been worse at updating, but for some things, if it doesn't show on CoinMarketCap, my computer's running slow right now because I have so many things open and running. If it's not on CoinMarketCap, I will check. So it's a $6.7 million market cap, and my gosh, dude, this can go up 5,000% from here if people realize how much value is locked. So let me tell you why I decided to sell this position. I scroll through the pools, and you got, what do you got? Where's Sunny at, right? There's no Sunny pools, so you can't stake or yield farm with your Sunny. It's all Saber, it's all USDC, it's all Wrap BTC. Where is it? USDC, Saber, DAI, USDC and USDC liquidity pair. Now there's a safe one, 24% APY, and you get, you know, it's going to stay at $1, so your investment's not going to go down, and you're going to earn 24%. So great protocol, right? But where is the Sunny staking and where is the Sunny yielding? All you get are Sunny rewards. So the Sunny token is going to be distributed as rewards, and then what do you think people are going to do with it? There's nowhere to restake them. They're going to sell it, right? Or they're going to hold it. They might hold it because they think the value is going to go up, and that's fine. Could it go up? Yeah, absolutely. It could definitely still go up. Absolutely, 100%. But I know when I was staking my YFDAI back in April, and I was getting 72% APR from it, I was just selling it because it's like, this is just bonus. It's going up in price. I'm getting these rewards. I'm just selling it as bonus. It's paying my bills. So, you know, that's all it's doing. Is it's diluting the supply of Sunny, and there's nothing you could really do with it except for hold. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't looked enough into this, but for the most part, these Sunny rewards, you know, are yeah. And Saber for the same reason. Like, you're getting Saber rewards, so it's diluting supply. But I do like Saber better off because you can stake and yield farm with Saber, so you could do something with it when you get those rewards. Sunny, you're just getting the rewards, and maybe it's just I don't know where to stake it at or where to farm it at. But that's why I dropped my Sunny. I stopped believing in it, and I said, well, it's just diluting the supply. So if people don't buy this, and there's no reason to buy it unless you could stake it, or you believe in, I don't know, but there's nowhere. All you're getting are the rewards, the diluted supply of it. So, if I were, you know, in any of these pools, I would sell it right away. I would maybe buy, you know, say I'm in this pool, I would buy Solana and Saber, or I would buy whatever FTT, you know, the FTX token or the wrapped FTT on this protocol, and I would restake it. I would sell it and then earn more Sunny rewards and then sell it. And anyways, that's what's happening with Solana. The other things might be getting a little bit out of order here, but I just wanted to mention a couple other things before I get into gaming and Metaverse. Is now you can actually see these big organizations. If you don't know Multicoin Capital is the number one performing crypto fund. They've made the most money. So I have been into them for a while, and that's where I first found out about Saffron Finance. From my research, I found out, let's see, 562, it's changed a little bit. 562, 581, so it's going up. It is the lowest market cap one that they hold in their portfolio, and they were in Solana at under $2. They have made multiple 100Xs. The graph was one of their biggest ones. And their first ones, Thorchain, Arweave on its way to $100. But they are the number one performing, so they're definitely worth paying attention to. And just like what's going on right now, Solana conference, Polkadot, they're always happening. So I'm always watching their portfolio. And there's other portfolios from other funds that are available in the categories as well. But I just noticed this was up here and I wanted to mention it because it is important to know what the big money is doing. QLIN protocol to be announced. Interesting. They must be looking into that. Must not have launched yet, or maybe they're into it before it launched. Anyways, but look at this. 53. Look at the rest of theirs. 272 million is the next lowest. That's 5 times from where they're at. They don't plan. Their strategy is buy and hold forever. Never sell. They don't sell. So bear market, bull market, they will not sell. They won't. Saffron Finance, they bought at $2,500. Now these are people who bought Solana at under $2 and they just held it, and now it's $250. 25,000%. They know what they're doing, and they're probably getting a lot of information sent their way because people are trying to sell them on their projects, and they have to sift through and determine what are the good ones. So Saffron Finance, one to look into. I've owned it for a while now. I actually am up on it. But if Multicoin Capital is buying in at $2,500 and they're smarter than me and they know what they're doing better than me, I'm sure as hell looking into this, and I sure as hell hold it a little bit. It's a micro cap, so it's one of those ones that is the combination of all your micro caps make up 5, maybe 10% of your portfolio. But something to look into. Click on Saffron Finance. Go into their. I'm not going to do a deep dive on Saffron Finance. I just wanted to mention that it's worth looking into. Multicoin Capital's portfolio. It's something that I do regularly and have done for a couple months now. And when I found out that they bought Saffron Finance at $2,500 and it was down at like $400, I saw it run up to like $600-700, and then when it came back down, I started buying in the 500s, little bit, and I think it could do really well just because of their track record. Looking at the chart, you see little spikes of green. That is similar to the next one that I'm going to be talking about, showing. Look at this green bar of volume right here. It was, let's see, high of $428. The volume, why am I drawing a blank here, is 29, so 30. Let's call it 30. So there's $120,000 there. There's probably looking at another 100,000 there. That's accumulation to me. When you see big spikes of volume like that in one day, when it's like abnormal and the price is flat over a long period of time and the price doesn't move much based off of the volume that it does, that's accumulation. Okay, SFI is showing 610 here, so that's on Poloniex. Okay, and that's just one exchange, right? So let's see, did I have it pulled up? Let's pull it up on, because there's not a lot of places to chart this because it doesn't exist in a lot of. Again, if you want to know where it trades, just go to CoinMarketCap and find your coin, and you can see everywhere that it trades, and you can go to see all markets. Anyways, looking at the volume has just been, well, this is 24 hours. Sorry, this is today. Volume's picked up today. I wonder what happened today. Maybe it got mentioned somewhere on a show or something like that. So you can see relatively flat price action since the end of July, and you could see like random. It's harder to see here, but that's accumulation to me. The next one that I want to talk about that is similar to that, and my attention was drawn to this by Mark Yusko on an interview. If you don't know who Mark Yusko is, he's founder, CEO, and CIO of Morgan Creek Capital Management, and you mentioned Bond, and when I went back and looked at the chart, because I watched the video like 2 days later, I saw this spike, and this was the day that he mentioned it. He mentioned Bond, and I'm like, oh, another guy who's probably smarter than me with a lot more, definitely smarter than me, come on, let's be honest, definitely smarter than me with a lot more money, mentioned that he likes Bond. Well, why does he like Bond? So I immediately went to their Twitter page, and they got this Smart Alpha, and I don't No, a Smart Alpha, what the heck is that? I know Barnbridge is DeFi. And so you can go and watch this 2-minute, 13-second video, and they explain it. Basically, what it comes down to for me is, I'm not going to try to explain it because I'm terrible at explaining things like this. And I barely understand it myself, but I understand it enough to come to the realization that this is going to allow large wealth individuals to come into DeFi with lower risk. Very, very low risk. Because what it does is you have what's called tranches, and it'll explain that in the video. And they even give another video link to explain it even further in more detail, because this is the basic and the basic. And you have these junior tranches and these senior tranches. And the senior tranches protect your downside. And they can protect your downside, I think, up to like 35% loss. So if it goes down, you lose nothing. You just don't make as much on the way up. But that's what high wealth individuals are looking for. And then the juniors, you can make, and you can invest in both, even being a high risk, you can balance it out. And then what Barnbridge does is they balance out these senior and junior, I believe they're called senior and junior tranches. They balance them out based on how the market moves and to help mitigate risk. I was blown away by this because it's like, when I first learned about DeFi, I was blown away that you can earn 10% on USD coin. Like, if I got $10 million, I'm like, I don't want to buy Bitcoin. That can come down 50%. I don't want to buy these altcoins. Those can come down 90%. I don't need to take a big chance if I got $200 million. Why would I put it into that? And why would I put it? Look at what happened to Mark Cuban and Titan Iron. You know, he said he only put 70,000 in, and that he said that. Regardless, Titan Iron became worthless because of what they called the bank run. Everybody took their money out all at once, and they had to sell their stable coin, or they had to sell their Titan in order to peg their try and keep their pegged stable coin to $1. Anyways, this mitigates the risk. This allows for high risk individuals to get into the DeFi space with lower risk, while still be able to make a better profit, better interest rate than they would at a bank by a lot. Anyways, so I like this, and they're only $167 million market cap. I think this is one of those ones that can go up substantially. When I look at the chart, I see the same thing that I just talked about with Saffron Finance. You got little green spikes, and more the price moves, but it comes back down. Look at those top wicks. You know, look at those top wicks. Top wick. And then this one, top wick. How many bag holders from $70, $60? Anyways, the other thing is that its supply, right now its circulating supply is 4 million, right? Bitcoin is 21 million, and Bitcoin's at 60,000. Is this going to go to 60,000? No, it's not. But the lower the supply, the more potential for price movement. Total supply is 10 million. So about half of Bitcoin. So if it were as big and as popular and as sought after as Bitcoin, at the same market cap, it would be $132,000. Is it going to go to that? No. Could I see it at $300? Yeah, absolutely. What's my price target? Well, I mean, I think I'll crazy, but I could see anywhere between $300 and $3,000. I would be pretty disappointed, honestly, in this bull run if I didn't see $1,000 out of Barnbridge. Higher risk because it's lower market cap. Could it go down from here? Absolutely. So don't think that, it's this is one of those ones I want to hold through the bull run. Once I deem the bull run has reached its peak, through any indicators or belief that I see happening, that's when I'll exit it. So it's not a trade, it's a buy and hold until I feel like the bull run is over. Anyways, just wanted to get into that a little bit. And now, so let me close out of some of these so I'm not getting confused here. Yeah, leave, Mark Yesko. Let me get out of some of these. So I want to talk about gaming and the metaverse. So basically, okay, what was the supply of Saffron anyways? So Saffron, probably an even lower supply, total max supply 100,000. That's why it's $579. So yeah, the price 100,000. That's not a lot. It's circulating supply. It's already at 91,000. So very, very high potential for big price movement. If this was 10 million, it would be at $5. So just a little thought. Let's close out of these. Let's get rid of some of this clutter, and then let's talk about Metaverse. I'll leave one of these open just in case I want to jump to a chart. Let's see. So Metaverse. Again, go watch Ready Player One. And I closed out of something that I wanted to keep open. Go watch Ready Player One, because that's going to tell you exactly what we're looking at with when it comes to the Metaverse. And again, you can go to Metaverse as a category, and let's see where it is. Where is it? Find it. You can go to Metaverse as a category, and there's one thing that I wanted to point out with my number one Metaverse token, the one that I like the best. Come on. I'm going to pause this in a second if I have to. Did I just see it? No. Let me pause it, and so you guys don't have to watch me scroll through. Of course, I find it 2 seconds later, but you can go through Metaverse. Metaverse is essentially anything that has its own world built up with NFTs, and gaming is a huge part of that, and it's going to bridge the metaverses, the metaverse. So you see some, I want to go over gaming because like some people have mentioned to me like, hey, you should go over this. I don't understand it very much. Alluvium, that's one that I am very high on. It already has a very high market cap, almost $1 billion, but you can see Axie Infinity, the number one, has a $10 billion market cap. It went from 10 cents to over $150 now. Crazy. Engine is like a currency in the metaverses. Decentraland is the metaverse first adopter. It has its own world. It has had it for a while. Sandbox has a metaverse built up on gaming. Excuse me. Alluvium is simply a game, and that game is going to be its own metaverse, and I'll explain that when I go over Alluvium. Now, the thought behind these is that the metaverses are going to be connected somehow through wearables, weapons, armors, characters, so your character may be able to move between the metaverses. This is going to be big. I have no doubt in my mind that this could possibly be, I thought it was gaming before, and gaming is, I guess, part of this, but this is going to be the biggest part of crypto, and it is going to affect our daily lives. No doubt in my mind. Not just, this is why NFTs are so big, is because like first adopters, like the CryptoPunks, they're the first. And this is going to be huge, and I see it now. I still don't know how to value art. Still don't know how, because I'm not an art person. But scrolling through this, the one thing that you don't see, what's the one that I mention all the time, constantly, frequently, that is not on this list, is Superfarm. Superfarm is my number one. That is my number one, by a lot, metaverse. Simply because, number one, I believe in it. Do I think it can go down at times? Do I think it can be in a bear market? Yes. Some people believe that gaming in crypto is bear proof, and I think that's, I always try and consider everything, but I don't think anything's bear proof. But there are a few that I want to go over. First, I want to start with Splinterlands. So what Splinterlands is it's a card game, and it's very low time when it comes to time consuming. It's very low for me. I come through. You have a daily quest, sneak quest. I'm not going to get too into that, but there's these buffs on a card that are sneak. So sneak essentially means that you can attack to the back. You're not attacking the first card in line. And I'll go through a battle on here actually because they're really quick. And then you get a reward. And you get these rewards. Right now I'm currently bronze because my power or whatever is not very high. I'm waiting until the Chaos Legion card set comes out, and that'll increase my buying power, or my collection power, that's what it's called, once I get, because I'll essentially be able to get like 100 packs based on the amount that you're staking. You get packs per day through the 16th of November, so I get about 3.5 packs a day that I can buy with SPS, with DEC, which is another one of their cryptocurrencies, which is dark energy crystals, or with credits, which I have 305 basically just from rewards that aren't worth very much. You could see like 4,000 is like $5 worth, and I have 305. Anyways, this is probably one of my bigger microcaps that I own, simply because I know that Ubisoft is invested in Axie Infinity and Splinterlands, and I think there's talks with Ubisoft on additional collaboration or whatever. There's just talks, that's all it is, and it's just rumors. So I do own a lot of Splinterlands. Like I said, probably one of my bigger microcaps, and I will be getting packs, and they are worth something too. So if you go to the market, you can see the cards are for sale. You could buy them. You can even rent them to people. The most expensive one right now is worth $30,000. And it says Archmage area. So you can see these are the buffs that I'm talking about. So it's descriptive, that the sneak attack targets the last monster in the enemy team instead of the first monster. So anyways, these are NFTs. These cards are NFTs. They're non-fungible tokens. I don't know how else to describe it. That's how they exist in the game. Through cryptocurrency, through NFTs. So if we go to this and we battle, like what they do is they give you a set of cards. You can't sell them, but they're a set of cards to use to get started with. I have a few cards, basically cheap ones that I just bought for like 14 cents just to mess around, but you could see that the playable ones, so this S means that I don't own it, right? It's a starter pack. If it doesn't have an S, like I actually own this card. I think it was like a couple bucks. I own 2 of these cards. Basically, I won them through like rewards and stuff. I own this card. So very few. I think I have a few of these Earth cards. Anyways, moving on. Some of you might be getting bored with this. Some of you may not, but I do want to explain how it works. So these are NFTs, and then you can go to the marketplace and you can buy cards if you want, and then you can combine like 4 cards and they're worth more. So say I go to this card, the top price is $30,000, but you're gonna have, well, this one doesn't have different levels. This is a level 4. Level 1s, you can combine 4 level 1s and make them a level 2, depending on if they're able to. Some of them only have 1 level. Anyways, that's getting a little too confusing, but getting into how it works is you battle and you complete quests and you win these rewards, and then there's seasons. They're like 2 seasons a month. So at the lowest level, I get the lowest season reward, so I get 5 chests. So last time I got 5 chests and I got these rewards. These are what I got. I got 4 cards and 109 credits. Not a bad pull. Pretty happy about that, except they're not worth it. I think this card's like 14 cents. I don't know what this one is worth. It's level 1. I don't really. Well, let's look. Pelacor Mercenary. Well, let's just look up Pelacor. See if I'm able to do that. Well, regardless, I'm not able to search by card. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But that's what I got from the rewards. So you're either going to get like credits, cards, or cards. If I got anything else different, I don't think so. But anyways, once I get my collection power higher, I can fight my way and get to bronze 2 and then further on. And you could actually earn DEC, dark energy crystals, when you reach levels that allow you to make that. So it doesn't show exactly what it is, but you can earn, I'm sure in bronze 3 it'll be like 0.5 energy crystals, per win, with dark energy crystals per win. But I actually bought 500 worth just to buy some cards with DEC. But and I think DEC is worth like a penny, maybe 2 pennies right now. It has gone up a lot. But dark energy crystals, a little over a penny. You can see over the long term, it's gone up, I think, like 10x, because it was like, it was 1/10 of a penny. So not bad. 10x is pretty darn good. Anyways, let's get into it. So how it works is, it's not the funnest. It's all right. It's not something that I would sit and play, but it requires very little time to play. And so you go through a match, and then you have what's called mana. and it limits your mana, right? This is your mana cap, so you're allowed to spend that much on your card. So not every single match is going to use the same cards that you throw down, or the same amount of cards in everyone. So you have these different elements. So these are the last. So you could say this person had 5 waters. Like, okay, they're generally going to use water, in their deck, and they're generally going to have this team put together. So what counters water? Well, every element has a weakness and a strength, and then you could maybe, if you're good enough, I'm not that good yet, to know that, or to guess if he's going to use death or water, but he's probably going to use death or water. Death has been my best one, but you could, if it's 5 in a row, you could probably know, I'm going to do this because he's definitely going to use death, and they're slow, so I'm going to use fire because they're fast. You could use this fire. So each one starts off with an enchanter. So you have to pick or a summoner, and that determines like what element you're using. So this one's, I think that's life. I think that's death. That's water. That's earth. That's dragon, which you could pick any element along with that summoner. Fire. And then you get these buffs, which this is +1 to speed, +1 to melee attacks, -2 to the enemy's shields, +1 to your shields. I use this one generally, and then I have my kind of go-to team, that I use, just because I don't own a lot. So no, I don't want to use that one. I want to use that one, and you got stuff like you could take away 1 health of all enemy monsters. Generally, you want to keep a stronger one in the front because that's the one that's going to attack most. So one with more health or more defense. And it's based on how much mana you can use. See, like this one heals, right? So this one heals, restores a portion of the monster's health each round. Anyways, moving into it, now you can see the battles happen, and it's an auto battle, so you could actually like skip right to the end. So sometimes, hopefully, somebody I paired up against isn't taking forever. Good. So it's a pretty quick match. And then, that's sorry, I apologize for the embarrassing name, but I don't really care as much. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit, and I'm going to go through this relatively fast. So there's his team, there's my team. We're going to hit Rumble, and you go through rounds. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So there's their buff, the speed, so they're going to be faster than me. This guy has a sneak attack, so he's attacking the back. This guy has a sneak attack, so only 1 health, so he died to this person. This guy has a heal also, so it looks like I'm probably going to lose this. Let's see. Let's speed it up a little more. So that guy's dead. I'm definitely going to lose that. So skip to results. I lose. So that's it. That's all there is to it. So 1 quest a day. I generally do 5 quests and get my reward, and that's it. It generally takes about 10 minutes. So hopefully I'm going to get about 100 packs, so that's about 500 cards, so great. Hopefully I could do a little more with that. So hopefully, if not, I'm not too concerned. I still like that the currency that I hold, the cryptocurrency that I hold behind this, and it stakes for currently, I'm going to scroll down, currently 52%. Right, so 52% APR, you can claim that, and it costs you nothing. That's the great part. It costs you nothing. So those huge fees on Ethereum don't cost you anything. So I can claim this right now, and I'm using this to spend on card packs, and I'm waiting till the price goes up a little bit so I don't have to spend as much SPS, because I think that's the premise behind why the price is down a little bit, is because right now the card packs are being sold. So you buy it with SPS, which is offered a 10% discount, and it goes to the developers because that's who you're buying from. And then they're getting all this SPS, and then say it doubles in price, then they could sell it and pay their bills or whatever. So I'm waiting till the last minute to buy the remainder of my packs after I kind of came to this conclusion. You also get airdrops. I don't want to scroll up just because, let's see. Okay, you also get airdrops. Yeah, I just don't really want to show dollar amounts at whatever. You know how much I own, so if you care enough to do the math, go ahead. Anyways, you get airdrops. I generally get like a couple SPS a day just because now I have card packs, I have dark energy crystals, and my collection power is 185 based on the amount of cards that you have and the strength of those cards and the level of those cards. Okay, spent a lot of time on that. Bottom line is Splinterlands. Right now, currently sitting at like 53 cents. Let's see if I could let's go to Splinterlands on, just so we can do a little analysis of the price. Not that I'm going to get that deep into it. Right now at 54 cents. Was that like 98 cents, maybe like $1, not too long ago. But I think is what's happening is right now the developers and whatnot are just trying to collect at a low price. And then the price, I have no doubt in my mind. Well, I really think everything is going to go up. So right now it's like, which one do I think is going to go up and which ones do I think are going to go up the most? Anyways, current market cap of 139. You saw Axie Infinity is 10 billion. I don't see it getting as high as Axie Infinity, just because like I think Axie Infinity is more in depth, but I do see possibly $5 for this, maybe 10, just because like it is the most played game by user. Next is like UFO or Alien. I think it's Alien Worlds. Yeah. So, anyways, I do want to move on because this video is starting to get kind of long. Another one is Alluvium. Alluvium is a little different. You can stake Alluvium, and you can see there's 1.15 billion in Alluvium, and Alluvium's price is pretty awesome right now. I sold at $600 because I'm like, well, this game isn't coming out until. This game isn't coming out until first quarter next year. The bull run might be over, but this has just gone up since it listed on Binance. It has just gone up and up and up and up and up, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop now. It's actually forming kind of a bull pennant right here. It's consolidating, but you could stake it, the coin. Right now it is a little higher market cap than Splinterlands, and again, the game doesn't come out until first quarter, but it looks like one of the better freaking games. Like, I think I plan on playing this. I am a gamer. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I know, I get it. Seems like a waste of time, but it seems like all the richest people in crypto are gamers, and everybody I know who's a gamer is really, really smart. So, no, just kidding. But its market cap is currently 800 million, so about 8 times that of Splinterlands, and the game doesn't even exist. I see it being up there with Axie Infinity when it does exist, around that $10 billion market cap. So definitely. First of all, why do I think it's a good game? Well, let's watch a little preview of the gameplay that they released on the 6th. Little better looking than Splinterlands, and if you've seen Axie Infinity, definitely better than Axie Infinity. So, the premise of this game is similar to, think, Pokemon. You're going to go through this world and collect alluvials, right? You're going to collect alluvials, and how do you make money in this game? You can sell those alluvials on the marketplace, but you're essentially going to have a team of alluvials. I'm going to get rid of the sound so you could watch this as well. You're essentially going to have a team of alluvials, and you're going to go to battle against other people who have teams of alluvials, and you could bet in the arena. So you can place bets fighting other people's teams. And it's auto battle as well, whereas Axie Infinity is not auto battle. You have to determine which skill to use with your Axie Infinity, with your Axie. But so these alluvials are NFTs. That's what they are. They're non-fungible tokens, and the game uses them for you to be able to play the game. So they're NFTs. So each obviously is going to have different health, different defense, different attack, different skills. But this is how it's going to look. So that's how NFTs exist in there. Future games will have armor, weapons. Your character will be an NFT. That's how it's going to exist. But look at the graph. This is the first AAA game that's going to be made in the crypto world using NFTs. So I don't know what else to say from there. You can stake it. I got pretty lucky. I started staking around $200, and I did a 30-day. And so how it works. So let's talk about that. How it works is you stake your Alluvium, or you can create a liquidity pair, Ethereum Alluvium liquidity pair, and you get obviously significantly more APY, and that's what I did. And I got a sweet return. Here's what I didn't like. Once you can claim in 2 different ways. You can claim Alluvium, or you can claim S Alluvium, which is going to be available for in-game purchases for everything but the arena. So you got to buy like shards, which I guess are like comparable to like the Pokemon ball where you catch Pokemon. And you got travel fees, you got other things like that. Anyways, everything but I think that, and I think the marketplace. So it's going to be available for in-game stuff, the SILV. And the Alluvium, you can't claim. You can claim it, and then you can actually collect it 12 months later. My fear is that a lot could happen in 12 months. I mean, this thing could be worthless in 12 months. Who knows? I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to do really well. So I chose the in-game because I do plan on playing it, and I wanted it now. And I don't want to wait 12 months. And that's the whole reason why I was staking it anyway, so I can get some money to play in-game. And then it went up, like 600%. So I have all this SILV that I'm going to be able to use in-game. It's like $4,000 worth. Yeah, $4,200 worth. So I'm definitely going to use that in game. But yeah, so you play these games with the use of NFTs. Now, Axie Infinity, the floor is like $300 per Axie. So you buy 3 Axies to make up a team, and they have different skills and abilities and characteristics, and you battle. I think you bet. You may not bet, but you earn Ethereum if you win. So that's why people are doing this. It's play to earn. You earn money by playing. That's pretty cool. I just saw a tweet from somebody the other day that they're quitting their job to focus on Axie Infinity. They're earning that much. Anyways, we got this game's a little different, is where it'd be auto battle. But anyways, I don't know what else to say about it. That's kind of where we're at now. That's its own metaverse. That's its own metaverse. It's its world in Alluvium, in its own world, and your characters and your alluvials exist in that world. That's its own metaverse. Moving on to strictly metaverses, right? Decentraland, first adopter. I messed around with it a little bit a while ago. Didn't think it was that fun. Didn't think it was that cool. But it's not about that. It's about owning the real estate. There's real estate that you could buy inside of Decentraland. There's wearables like jackets, hats, shoes. It's basically its own world. And if you watch Ready Player One, you'll understand it more. Decentraland is going to have first adopter to it. That's why it's so big. We saw it went up like 300% at one point. Look at this. Red sneakers. Face t-shirt. Meta Dojo. You buy hairstyles, shoes, hats, parcels and estates. I wish I knew what token this was going by. So let's say 89,000. So you're buying... Oh, you're using mana. It's so 89,000 mana. So this is 170,000-ish. Well, let's multiply it by 3. $270,000 parcel of land. Like, yeah, you can buy it. So that's what's happening now with why people are buying mana. They're buying mana so they can buy these parcels of land with their mana. And yeah, insane, right? Seems insane, but this is crazy. This is how it's going to exist. So watch a little like run through. I just found this random YouTuber going through Decentraland. So
imagine owning one of these machines, and then there's a bunch of people gambling here.
You can own a machine.
People already do it in
slot machine.
Why would it?
And people gamble on your slot
machine?
machine, and you earn the money that they lose on the slot machine because you lose playing slots.
You can just walk around, hang out.
I mean, it's virtual world. It reminds me a little bit of Second Life. If you remember that from like 20 years ago.
You have to hire somebody to design.
I mean, people are leasing office space. People are literally leasing office space. They have museums of their own NFT work, NFT galleries, but I didn't think it was that fun.
Like a hangout place, right?
It's just like having your own existence within this world is what it's all about.
Very important. You can actually play soccer in the stadium. There's a stadium.
Play soccer in the stadium he's talking about. So he's just going through kind of like
a hologram.
Yeah, it's this whole world.
All right, baby, ladies and gentlemen.
Kagi
Messi is on the main stage, and here we go. If you press... Goal, 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 goal,
Goalie
goal,
sucks.
goal, goal.
But I don't know. I guess it's kind of cool. But I think there's going to be a lot cooler stuff. But they're going to have first adopter.
nice.
So like Bitcoin is Web 1.0, right? It's like where Ethereum is 2.0 and Metaverse is 3.0, right? So and Bitcoin is still the highest market cap. So do I think Mana is the most exciting for me? No. Decentraland? No. What is the most exciting for me is Superfarm. Superfarm, one of the main guys behind it is Elio Trades. He has his own YouTube channel too. And he was a video game designer in San Francisco, and that is his background. And for the last 4 years, he has been working with the idea that NFTs, 4 years ago, he was talking about this, NFTs are going to be the next big thing. Like, they're going to be huge. Gaming is going to be enormous. That's where I'm placing my bet. That's where I'm putting my life's work towards. And that's what he did. And now it's coming to fruition. And man, if he would have been a little bit more ahead, it would have been cool, because there's still nothing out yet. That's a risky take, I guess. That's a risky take. But from my understanding, right now, they have NFTs that have been released and are being released. So they have all sold out very, very quickly. And they plan on video games and the Superverse, their own metaverse. Now you're going to be able to build video games off of Superfarm. They have the tools for creating games using blockchain technology for elaborate in-game economics. And Elio has been hinting at the fact that he's going to have updates very, 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 very soon with their gaming and with their Superverse. And I think that's going to be huge because, like I said before, you go to the Metaverse and you don't even see Superfarm in that section. So people don't even realize that Superfarm is in the Metaverse category. And what I think is that it's going to be 10 times better than Decentraland, which Decentraland is still going to have first adopter, even though I think Ethereum is 10 times better than Bitcoin for its own reasons. But yeah, and that's another one. I've mentioned Immutablex just launched, and that's one of my favorites, and the price has been coming down. I made like a 20% of the position that I plan on having buy at $5, and I think it's at like $3, but I'll be buying on the way down Immutablex, because when it comes to NFTs and gaming, Alluvium operates on Immutablex. Superfarm is working with Immutablex, as you can see from this recent headline. Superfarm is... Look at what's happening already. They don't even have their game out or their metaverse yet, and they're already bridging these metaverses with Sandbox. And Sandbox is a gaming metaverse, and they sell land. They do the same kind of stuff. So, getting ahead of myself now, or going all over the place, but their game is supposed to be similar to Overwatch in gameplay. I believe gameplay, at least he has stated quality-wise, because right now most things are play to earn, and he wants it to be play to play, where you also earn, right? And what that means is that right now I don't think Splinterlands is super fun. It's cool, but like I play it just because I think that the stuff that I have is going to be worth more, and the opportunity to earn money, and the SPS I think is going to be worth more than 54 cents in the future. Just my personal opinion. I mean, I held some Superfarm from like $1.60, the $1.60s, and I was buying the crap out of it in the 60s. I was buying the crap out of it in the 90s, and then it came back down to the 60s, and I'm like, oh shoot, I bought a little bit more in the 60s, and now it's starting to pay off. I just think this is, from the time it launched, since the time before it launched, I've been following it, and I've told myself, like, this is a top 20 coin. And right now it's 230, and it's a $690 million market cap. I think you see at least 10 billion out of this in the future. Could be wrong. Again, not financial advice. Could be wrong, but this is probably one of like three that I get the most excited about. So they are coming out with a game that's going to be killer, I believe, if what has been said is true. And then they have a Superverse that's coming out that I think, if how it's talked about is true, is going to be 10 times better than Decentraland. So, and the fact that people don't even know it's a metaverse play, a metaverse investment, they don't even know that it's not even realized. So let's see if I can just click on that. Anyways, it's not even realized that it's a metaverse play. Once people realize that, they're going to go nuts for it, especially when the content comes out for it, like Alluvium shows, and it's good. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. So looking at the price, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of resistance here. Our next resistance level is looking like, like the 230s to 260s. And if stuff actually starts coming out for this and updates are given, I see no reason why it can't go back to the all-time high, at least on Binance, which is over $4. That's Binance's all-time high. And the previous all-time high for it was it says 4.73, but I promise you it wasn't 4.73. It was in the 7s. Promise. That's what I don't like about these sites right now. Probably just because there's so many to keep up with. But okay, so I'm going to get to the end of this video now, just because it's getting pretty long. But again, I missed a week, and you can hear it in my voice still. Just still not feeling well, and there's a lot has happened. Where is it? 474. That's, yeah, it was in the 7s. I promise. I had it I sold it in the 7s. I promise. It was in the 7s. But it's not showing that way. They're probably just tracking when it was on, since it's been on Binance, which started off in the 4s. Anyways, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. I am constantly watching and researching in the cryptocurrency field, in the cryptocurrency area, and I hope you guys get something out of this. I hope it's helpful, and I hope you made money. I know I've made money off of others, research and suggestions, and hopefully you guys are, getting good usage out of this content. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe, share a video with a friend. I don't know. I'm not demanding that you do that, but anything like that is appreciated, because I do work my butt off. But other than that, I am going to end this video. So I will see you next time in the Metaverse. Bye.